Time for another universe pack. Another pack that I ended up making and putting together. And I know it's been a little while since I make one. Since I make these, so I do more character requests because the list is so packed. I have so many requests, so many different characters to work on and put together. And now every time I do these kind of packs that I made, it's just a different series of my own picks. And the character requests are you guys characters that y'all want to see in this game. And I don't know whether or not we're going to get a sequel. We don't know what's going to happen yet. We still haven't gotten any sort of an official post of what's going to happen with this game in regards to what the future holds. So maybe we'll probably get something by February. Maybe something, maybe even something, maybe sometime this upcoming week before SpongeBob the Cosmic Shake comes out. We'll probably end up finding out who's going to be the next character, what their plans are for the game, what's going to happen with crossplay, and so much more. But as you can see, when you guys go and watch this video and click on it and listen to it, I'm curious to see everyone's opinions about these characters. And I picked 4 different characters. I wanted to spice it up and make the pack a little bit bigger. So I'm not going to always just keep on doing 4 characters, but I wanted to add a little bit something different this weekend. So instead of just that trio, or just with 3 characters with the universe pack, why not add an additional character with 4 characters to make it a little bit even more interesting, and just to bring up even more conversation and reactions in the comments. And with these 4 choices, I think a lot of people will really be interested in seeing some of these characters. Even if you're not a fan of all 4 of the characters, even if you only favor one particular character, it's completely fine. Everyone has a different character and a different preference of who they prefer, what their forte is. And not many people have watched these shows, and even shows like Monster High that I recently got into from a recent request that I already completed. I end up adding another additional character from that particular series, and it's a more modern Nickelodeon show. So I'm going to get to that later on, but let's go ahead and open up the roster so we can just start talking about some of these characters. And the first character I'm going to talk about is, we're going to talk about the Rugrats series. We're going to get into the Rugrats era in the TV series for this particular pack as a little bit of a first choice. And just looking at this roster, Reptar is the only character and the only rep that we have from the Rugrats. I love watching the show. I even love watching the movies and playing some of the old video games. And then one of my favorite movies, Rugrats in Paris, things like that, just for example. But look, it's just, you got one rep, and just like I always usually say, when you start, yeah, of course it's Legend of Korra. Korra is from her own show. She's a separate avatar. She's an avatar like Aang, but she has her own show. But coming down here, whereas you have Zim all the way down to Rocco, they're all single reps from those shows, which means there's only one character from that show that's being represented of that particular universe. One rep from Zim, Cat Dog, Rugrats, as we see. We're going to get into it right now. What do you guys think about Tommy Pickles? So I picked him as my first selection for this universe pack, this 4 character universe pack, which I think could really create some sales for the game itself. People will be really interested in buying these characters and checking them out and giving them a chance. Tommy Pickles, I'm not sure how he would play, because they're babies, and it could be debated. And some people were telling me that Tommy was already one of the characters in Super Brawl universe. I don't know if that's true. Was it Super Brawl universe, or was it some other platform fighting game, or a different platform fighter? I don't know which one it was. Was it Super Brawl universe, or was it a different one? Somebody in the comments can clarify it for sure, because I remember some of you guys talking about it in the live stream chat, how Super Brawl universe had such a great roster with all these different characters. Some of the characters that are in this game weren't really in it, but they had some of the characters in Super Brawl universe do not exist in this fighter roster, or in this current roster right now, and Tommy is one of them. So we just have Reptar right now as the only rep from Rugrats, and I really think Tommy Pickles can shine. I wonder if they can get his all grown up. Maybe they can have him added with his all grown up version of himself for Tommy Pickles. But just a little bit of an idea. It's not just about Tommy Pickles. You got Chucky, Angelica, Phil and Lil, the brother and sister are basically the siblings, and you got Susie. They're always going on these different adventures together. They're always together. So I guess, I mean, Reptar is a good rep and a good ideal pick from the Rugrats. But Rugrats, most people think about Tommy Pickles because he's such an iconic character from the Rugrats. He's the leader of the pack. He's the leader, and he always uplifts their spirits every time one of the characters are feeling down, and he makes them feel better, and he says the right things. He knows exactly what to say to bring their spirits up and cheer everyone up. He cheers the group up, and that's what makes him such an icon from the Rugrats. If you guys watch the show, I mean, of course, not everybody watched the same shows, but Tommy Pickles, I think he definitely belongs in this game. But maybe they could pair them all together to fight as one, and maybe in like a little bit of a cart or something like that, like a little bit of a wagon that you control where all the kids are in it, and you can fight together as one in a pair. But I'm not sure how they can do this. I'm not sure how they'll really be able to do it. But I definitely think Tommy Pickles could be a really good character. And the Rugrats, they could definitely get more characters from the show. And Tommy Pickles is one of them for sure. That definitely belongs. Especially if he was already in a previous platform fighter or a different fighting game beforehand with different abilities. So if he was able to be playable then, he can definitely be able to shine in this game and have some different moves, if not something similar of what he had for his arsenal of offensive moves for Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl if he was to get into the game. So that's just the first pick, and just for something different, I wanted to, it's something like Nick Jr. or Noggin for a different channel, but it's still part of Nickelodeon. I didn't even realize this. And I grew up watching Max and Ruby, some kind of mystery character. But let's just bring it up. We got our duo, Ren and Stimpy, and you got Cat Dog. But we're just going to bring them up and keep them on the screen for a little bit. So my next pick for the second pick of 4 characters for this universe pack, Max and Ruby, I think they could be really a great character, and some people have brought it up in their own wish list, if you can believe it. People want to see Max and Ruby and think they really have a chance to belong in this roster, even though it's Nick Jr. and it's a little bit kiddie. But Max and Ruby, some people say it's a little bit more mature for the audience, a more mature choice for as far as Nick Jr. characters that could really be able to get in to the roster, and they could be a really great duo. And I think you guys would be interested in seeing it. So that's why I picked Max and Ruby. I like the show. I remember watching this along with Rugrats and other Nick Jr. shows. Dora the Explorer, Bart the Builder, Little Bill. Just so many different shows. Franklin. So many different shows from way back then. Little Bear. And just it goes on. JJ the Airplane. But it's so many different shows that go on and on. And I just going back to Max and Ruby, this game needs more duo fighters. We don't have many duos. They can add Max and Ruby, and I think they could really be able to shine into the roster as another pair, another selectable duo. This isn't the only duo that I selected for this series for Universe Packs. Is so many other duos that belong, like the Angry Beavers, Robot and Monster, Fanboy and Chum Chum, but I have yet to represent them and pick them yet. But the list goes on and on. Henry and June from Kablam, another iconic underrated show and a classic from way back then that could really be able to shine as a duo. Henry and June, anybody remember that show? But see what I'm talking about? You got all these different shows with different characters that's missing, but Max and Ruby can really be able to stack this roster up to add on to the duos, to duo fighters, to join the likes of Ren and Stimpy, and then Cat Dog. But there's no one else that's a duo fighter other than these 2 characters, Ren and Stimpy and Cat Dog. So Max and Ruby would be a really good pair, and to be able to fight together, and you could be able to utilize their techniques. Not sure what they could be capable of. Maybe I could make a moveset for Max and Ruby to see what I can come up with. but they definitely can work together and be able to shine as a duo. But now we're going to head into the world of SpongeBob, and he's one of the most requested characters to be into the game for the roster. SpongeBob only has 3 characters. I love all 3 of these, and I just want to say this right now. I can't wait to play Cosmic Shade, and then in the next week, I'm definitely got mine pre-ordered. I'm definitely playing that day one, and I'm doing everything that game has to offer. I can't wait to play. So, and just rock those new costumes too. So it's going to be one of the best SpongeBob games. I can't wait to get into that. But now, getting back to Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, we got Squidward. I added him into this pack as the 3rd character. And just like I said, we only got 3 characters from SpongeBob SquarePants. You got SpongeBob, Patrick, and Sandy. You got the karate fighters, or the karate masters. I love that episode too. But just with all these different these 3 characters, who's it to say they can't get a 4th rep? So even if they decide to go forward, and if there is a sequel, he could probably get into that one. But you already got a decent roster in this game. I don't think they really need a sequel right now. Squidward can be in this game. And just take a look at these character models. He can look just as good as Sandy, Patrick, and all the other ones. They all look great. So Squidward can be able to shine. And just like I said, he's one of the most requested characters in the top 10. He's in the top 15. He never even left the top 5. He's a top requested character that the devs can definitely get. You already got the rights to get SpongeBob, so you could definitely get Squidward, Mr. Krabs, and maybe other characters like Plankton and Karen. And we just already finished talking about duos. Plankton and Karen could be another duo fighter, another SpongeBob rep. Squidward can shine, and just all the different moves, and then his laugh that he does from the show. It'll be awesome to see that and hear that. And since this game has voice lines now, we'll be able to hear him laugh and even try to take shots at SpongeBob because he annoys him so much. And well, at least SpongeBob and Patrick. So just things that he can say, and then all the things that he can rock. He has some good costumes that he can wear. Captain Magma, hopefully he does that. Has that as a cool little alternate costume. Or Krakatawa. It's one of the best costumes. Or his Band Geeks costume, or maybe Squilliam, his rival. That'll also work as an alternate costume. And I can visually see him getting into this game. So just another great pick to add on to this universe pack. So I really hope they add Squidward in at some point in the near future, whatever they choose to do. Maybe in a future game, or maybe in this game at some point. If they announce a universe pack for a new character teaser, character news, or something like that, he definitely deserves to be in this game, and he can shine as a 4th rep to get in between Sandy and Aang, to be able to get into the slot as an official character of this roster. I definitely think he belongs too. But last but not least, we're going to wrap up with something different. And a recent character that I had talked about was Draculaura from the Monster High, which was a request from you guys. And it was so much fun to put up a moveset for Draculaura, because little did I know, the voice actor for Jimmy Neutron actually plays Draculaura in Monster High, and I never knew that. So it also ups the chances of getting some of these characters. But I picked a different character. I picked one of the friends of Monster High that also has some good potential. All these different characters in Monster High, if you guys see this show, it's a more modern Nickelodeon show, Monster High. And it definitely would work for Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, because they have all these different abilities, and each friend in Monster High have their own individual powers. So I selected, instead of putting Draculaura in it, I selected Frankie for something different. I had so many different choices, so I ended up pulling Frankie to add her into this universe pack as the final character to complete this pack. And with Frankie, I just wanted to share this, because some people might think she's not even capable of doing anything. She has the power of electricity, and she has the power to be able to dismember herself. Self-dismemberment for her body. She'll be able to do some crazy attacks and be able to strike you from the field from at any range. She'll be one of the most unpredictable characters because you don't know she's going to strike you with some kind of electricity and different parts of her body with self-dismemberment. She could be able to track you down and maybe have one of her hands track you down, almost like some Addams Family sort of thing. One of her hands can really be able to chase you down as a projectile to be able to track you and chase you all across the field, and then she'll be already on you. She'll be chasing you down, and you got to watch out for her different parts of her limbs are going to be all over the map chasing you down, and she can really set you up. So you get that extra pressure. She's definitely going to be a really good character. Anybody else think that Monster High has some good, really potential characters that can really get into Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl? Or maybe a brand new sequel, if anything? And that's why I selected Frankie, because of these different abilities. So I haven't checked into the other ones yet. I already talked about Draculaura, a while ago. But I wanted to get Frankie involved, which was another one of Draculaura's friends, to be able to get in to shine and make this universe pack a little bit more unique as just another additional choice. Monster High has all these different characters, from werewolves and vampires and things like that. They all have their own abilities, just like I finished saying. They got all this potential and hidden abilities of their own to be able to shine, and it makes them capable, and it creates that potential for their moveset and to be a playable character in this game. And just look at these characters, and just when you think about the Monster High and all the different characters I just finished talking about, from Tommy Pickles, Max and Ruby, and Squidward, and then you can go as far as into some of the modern shows or the newer shows that shine in, like Monster High, to be able to shine into the game as new characters, new DLC, character teasers, or a character announcement. It doesn't even have to be none of these characters don't have to really be in the universe pack. They can be an individual announcement for character news, just like they did Shredder and Garfield from last year, from the year before, I meant to say. When Garfield came out in December, and then Shredder came out in February, those are individual announcements. They didn't even bother. We didn't even have this. We didn't have what we have right now with the included universe packs that was introduced a little bit after Shredder came out. Because Jenny came out, Jenny dropped, and then we got the introduction to the universe pack, which contained Jenny Wakeman, or XJ9, Hugh Neutron, and Rocco. So some of these characters in this universe pack could be individual announcements. They don't really have to be part of a universe pack or anything like that. They can definitely be able to tease these characters as character reveals for individual showcases. They don't really have to be in the pack. But let me know what you guys think. I just think that all four of these characters are some pretty good choices. I just really wanted to spice it up a little bit and add a fourth character instead of just doing three all the time. As much as you guys have been really enjoying the trio, I wanted to add a fourth character. So maybe I'll mix it up and do another four, but I'll probably end up going back to three, just switching it off, just to keep it, just to keep it unpredictable. But that's why I made the series and started it, because you never know what characters I'm going to end up picking next for another pack. It's going to be characters that are new to me, and even some characters that are new to you guys, that you guys might even be interested in watching some of these shows and getting to know some of these characters and watching these shows on Paramount, or even trying to get into the episode and finding out more about these particular characters, or what they can do and just their origins. And that's why I really like talking about these characters as part of these packs. But let me know what you guys think about these characters. Do we think we could see these characters for this game? Do you think it's going to be a part of a sequel? Maybe we could probably have a chance to even see some of these characters in the universe pack, or maybe individual announcements. Who knows what's going to happen with the game? We still don't know yet. We don't know what the future holds. But I really think from these characters, Squidward definitely belongs. They all belong in this game. They still have many shows that they can add in to represent with missing reps, because you only got one rep or single reps from all these characters all the way down. They can definitely get a lot more for the roster.